the good, the bad, the odd. It's one hell of a podcast.
Welcome to this episode of The Good, the Bad and the Odd with your host Michael Sam. Today we'll be telling you what we've been up to since last time, and we'll be covering Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Hi Sam.
Hey.
Right, okay, we'll play a trailer for another podcast first. If you want to contact us though, www.thegoodthebadandtheodd.com. Just look on there and there's Facebook links and there's all sorts. In the show notes of these podcasts I put out, all of these details are there too, so that's an easy way. Anyway, let's listen to a trailer and then get into the comfy chair.
In a world where podcasts last over 3 hours,
you have no concept of time!
Balaban Studios presents A Stinking Pause.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
Starring Scotland
Yeah, be prepared for me to have a little bit to say about that one.
and Charles.
If Leslie Grantham can do it, and so can we.
Oh yeah.
Budget.
The Stinking Paws Movie Podcast, available on iTunes and Stitcher Radio.
Hotter than any uncurbed passion since last tango in Paris.
There's the Facebook group, and you can follow us on Twitter at Stinking Paws.
You've never laughed more at sex or a picture about it.
And download all our episodes at thestinkingpaws.blogspot.co.uk.
Get the comfy chair!
Okay, Sam. I've got a fair bit since last time, actually. I've got nearly 9 or 10, I think. What about you?
I got 4.
Okay.
Though I might remember more, because I'm certain I had more, but I can't remember.
It might be. There's a bit I mentioned. Well, certainly one of them you'll have watched, I reckon. Shall I go first then?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll rattle through these fairly quick because I have got a lot. So, first film is I watched a film noir from the 40s called Key Largo with Humphrey Bogart, Lauren Bacall and Edward G. Robinson. It's effectively a cabin fever type of film. Gangsters are holed up in this hotel where there's innocent people waiting for someone to turn up to make a deal, but there's a hurricane. So they're kind of all stuck in this hotel together, and the gangsters are getting nervous and sort of aggressive, you know, and so on and so forth. It was a really good film, really enjoyed it. It's one I've never seen before, though it's kind of famous in film noir. I really like. Is it one you've heard of?
No, I've never heard of this.
No, film noir's kind of it tends to be older people like me. Older people would know film noir. It's kind of not much talked about so much these days, except in terms of like neo noir, like I don't know,
Yeah.
or tech noir, like Blade Runner and Terminator and stuff. Yeah, okay, that's my first one. What you got?
Okay, so one of the I've got 4 things, all of them video games.
Right.
Though I probably have played more, but I can't remember him.
Okay.
But the first of these would be the new DLC for Bloodborne.
Oh yeah, Bloodborne's the werewolfy one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the werewolfy, Cthulhu-y,
Cool.
kind of a mishmash of a bit of everything.
Is it set in
horror.
London or am I dreaming?
No, it's set in this sort of gothic city called Yharnam.
Okay.
But this one kind of takes you away from all of that and puts you into a nightmare.
Right.
It's called the Old Hunter's Nightmare, this new place you're at.
Oh, that sounds right.
But this one kind of takes it even more Cthulhu-y than it was. So yeah,
I remember the original game is kind of nightmare anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty Cthulhu-y, but this one, I mean, the final level of it takes place in a fishing village.
Right.
So
Like,
that's not something you want to see when you're just like wander through a really tough area and you see Fishing Hamlet, and it's like
it's not called Innsmouth by any chance, is it?
No,
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't put it past for past it there.
Right. Okay, that sounds cool. Is it fun?
Yeah, it's like introduced a whole new load of stuff and some new lore stuff that I won't go over because you're probably tired of me talking about this sort of stuff. But
well,
yeah,
okay.
Cells and yeah.
All right, I'll go for a couple now because like you say, you've only got 4. Next one I got is a film from the 60s, a thriller called Wait Until Dark, where starring Audrey Hepburn as this blind woman who's married to this guy who seems to leave her for long periods on her own in her apartment. But essentially, he's got this doll that's got heroin. He doesn't know it's got heroin. He thinks it's just a doll that this woman asked him to take at an airport or something. Yeah, all right. And basically, one major criminal called Harry Shearer, I think, or something like that, persuades. Hires 2 other criminals to try and get the doll. Now it's a bit weird because like they could just search the house, but they don't. It's odd. It starts with them going into this apartment and then him explaining that this is the apartment where the doll is, and the woman who usually is there isn't in. Right, so they're in the apartment already, and he says, "Now I want you to get the doll that's in this apartment. So we're gonna come back later." And it's like, what? Well, that is a ridiculous premise. But basically, they try and use con tricks to persuade her to sort of hand over the doll, find the doll. But the thing is, this woman never locks her front door. I mean, they literally walk into her house at the beginning. Unlocked front door, and like all these weird things keep happening to her, and she still doesn't lock her front door. So that's kind of aggravating. But it's kind of, if you get past that, it's kind of fun. Alan Arkin's in it as the head criminal psycho, and he's got a really creepy, weird performance. He wears these big round black sunglasses. And he like John
the
Lennon.
ones you have.
Yeah, like the ones I have. Yes, exactly like the ones I have. And he's kind of cool with this weird, high-pitched voiced psycho. And there's this really cool bit at the end where basically she starts destroying the lights because she realises if she actually gets the place in complete darkness, she's got the advantage because she's blind and he's not used to being without his eyes. But she leaves one, which is the ice box has got a light in the fridge. And he starts throwing petrol around. It's really weird. It's kind of a fun film apart from the ridiculous premise. But it was based on a stage play, so it kind of, you can see why almost everything happens in this one apartment in this bizarro film. I kind of enjoyed it. My third pick was the Doctor Who recently. It's been really good actually, though a bit up itself. You know, bit, I'm really clever, aren't I? Though I've really enjoyed it. Capaldi's really delivered with the acting, that has to be said. But it's kind of, I don't know how much to talk about this.
Because a good actor with not very good scripts.
Well, a bit ill-developed, I think is the word. Yeah. I mean, the found footage one in concept was really good, but the actual monster was like, you are joking. It can't be that. And it is. It's like, of all the things you picked, it's that. Yeah. And I will mention that the found footage one had an actor who was like the guy that sort of developed this technology that caused all these problems. His name's Reece Shearsmith. I'm going to mention him in a bit. I've got another film I saw him in, but he was pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. So that's 2 of mine. So back to you.
Okay, I've been playing Fallout 4. So got a lot of Fallout 4.
Yeah, I've seen a bit of it. I saw you playing it at the weekend. How are you enjoying it?
It's really good.
It's really good.
So much fun.
Glad you got it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the all the new stuff, the new equipment crafting, it lets you sort of tailor weapons to how you want it. So is
it almost you can make anything from anything? Is it that
kind
flexible?
of? You get your weapons are all you get. Like a set thing, so there's the plasma weapons you can make into any other type of plasma weapons, but that's it. Laser weapons, same sort of thing. Pipe weapons, regular weapons, that sort of thing. Yeah,
you can't change their basic basic function, but you can improve it or whatever. Yeah,
and there's certain guns like a double-barreled shotgun you can't change it to anything else. Pistol you can't. There's certain pistol like a revolver you can't change it. It doesn't matter. But there's all sorts of new stuff, and so like there's Oh, Deathclaws are a real nightmare in this one and now. So in the other ones, Deathclaws, these huge lizard gorillas with giant claws is the best way I can think of them.
What, and they populate a town or something? Or they're around?
They pop up. They can pop up out the ground.
So this is. Let me get this. This is for the audience, really. This is post-apocalypse.
Yeah,
but you're going around a deserted town or semi-deserted town.
You're in deserted Boston.
Oh, it's Boston, so it's a city.
Yeah, they usually take place in or near a city. So
do they? Because all I've ever seen of Fallout films seem to be the desert or rural areas.
That's the clues are in the names usually. So stuff like New Vegas.
Yeah,
that's you're in the ruins of Vegas for the most part. This one, as I said, is Boston. Fallout 3 takes place in Washington D.C. There's others that take place all along the West Coast,
right?
But yeah, this one's Boston. There's a sort of common thread in Fallout games, at least the ones made by Bethesda, that there's always some place that's really mysterious and referencing Cthulhu.
Wow.
So you could in Fallout 3 it was a place called the Dunwich Building.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
What's it in this? The Arkham Building, I'm gonna guess.
I don't know. But you're in Massachusetts, which is like prime Cthulhu territory.
Yeah.
So
Lovecraft territory.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I wasn't going to mention it, and I haven't tried it yet, but I did buy an app on the iPad called I Lovecraft, which is supposed to be interactive stories. I'll try and give it a try and talk about it next time. There's a bit of a diversion. I haven't tried it, so I can't really say how good or bad it is, but I've got it primed to try. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, but yeah, it's the similar sort of thing to the other games. The only major sort of difference is story-wise, you actually start out before the apocalypse.
Oh, that's unusual.
Yeah, you get shut in a cryo chamber by the big evil company, which is called Vault-Tec.
Okay, so like Futurama.
But you're shut in there with your spouse and child, because you can choose genders, so it'll just your spouse takes the kid and gets in their cryo chamber.
Yeah.
You don't know you're in a cryo chamber, by the way. You get told it's like decontamination or something, because Vault-Tec has this real big stiffy for tricking people and causing people trouble.
Yeah.
But so you wake up I think it's 200 odd years later.
Right.
Still stuck in the pod, but you see someone take your kid.
Right.
And
that's the story, is it?
They shut you in the pod again, and then you wake up some undisclosed time later.
Right.
And that's the story. You have to find your kid.
Out, yeah.
There's all sorts of crazy stuff after that, like a robotic detective. I've had a pretty fun bit where I pretended to be some 50s radio character called the Silver Shroud.
Nice.
Like a mobster. There's you can build settlements out in the wild. It's all really fun.
What's the Fallout standout is often the music. It's kind of 40s, isn't it? What sort of music? Yeah. Is it good?
It's a lot of the good ones taken from 3 in New Vegas.
Oh, they're reusing, aren't they?
Yeah,
but that's all right, because it's
in a good
nice.
way.
Yeah.
It's like the iconic music from Vegas and Fallout.
Have some nice music in these games.
The major one they've taken from Fallout 3 is called I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire, which is appropriate.
Yeah.
And they actually have a lot more sort of nuclear-themed songs. So, there's one called Uranium Fever.
Nice.
And there's Roll Out Through the Fallout.
I wonder if they're songs written for the game.
They're actual songs.
They're
like Bing Crosby and...
okay, so this game's not been out too long, has it? A couple of weeks, is it?
No, it's. I think it got released on the 10th or the 11th, something like that.
We're talking 3 weeks from today.
Yeah.
For when we're talking now. Okay, what would you recommend it to people then?
Oh yeah, I'd recommend it.
And you got it on
what they do with DLC.
PS4, haven't you?
Yeah, I got it on PS4. PS4 is the next gen system I have at the moment,
Yeah.
and that's not really likely to change at the moment.
No.
So,
PS4s are solid. I've got a PS4 as well. I really like the PS4. Though of the previous generation, I really like the Xbox 360. So,
yeah.
Okay. I'll just do 3. I think 3 more.
Yeah.
Two are connected. I read the original story that got converted into the movie Hellraiser. The original story is called The Hellbound Heart, and it involves the Senna, but it's pretty much the film of Hellraiser. I've read it before. It's a really well written story. It's unusual. It's a very simple story, but the way Clive Barker writes is really kind of interesting. He doesn't go in a direct way. And I want to say it's in the same way, say, Poe or Lovecraft don't write in a direct way, though his writing style is completely different from those. He is a breath of fresh air to read. He's a really good writer, and I can see why he's held in such high regard. It's in his short story format, such as it's not quite a short story. It's a bit longer than a short story. It's a novella, but it's a long short story. Let's put it that way. It's 70 or 80 pages, I think.
Yeah,
and it's a really nicely written. It doesn't kind of hold your hand and explain things. He just puts enough text in that you can work out what's going on, but it's never vague. Sometimes Lovecraft could be kind of vague when he rattles off on. So you're trying to think, where am I now in this story? Well, Clive Barker kind of has that kind of writing in the sidelines rather than the main story, but enough to keep you on the main story. But he does it in a much more clear way. You're never confused or wondering where you're at, but he's going off on digressions, that relate to the story. Really well written, really enjoyed it. It was good to read again. And associated with that is I watched Hellraiser 3.
Okay.
Which is called Hell on Earth, which is kind of fun. The acting in it was quite bad. But as soon as Pinhead actually turns up and starts doing his thing, and he really does his thing, he rips to pieces a club full of people, for example. It's kind of fun, though he gets a bit Freddy Krueger. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing in the sort of sequel slasher films where it's like, oh, this is so grosser. Boring and tedious. Hey, Jason. Or hey, Freddy.
Yeah, it is a thing. Pinhead is a lot of fun, though he got a little Freddy Krueger for my liking. He was saying things in a flippant way, whereas in the earlier films he comes up with some great lines, but they're not jokes, They are things like no tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering. That isn't a joke in the way that Freddy makes jokes, but it's a great line from Pinhead. And indeed, I've been reading there's some really cool Hellraiser comics available on Kindle, and I read a few of those, and there was a great line in one of those, which I think I said to you, which is in one of the comics, Pinhead gets captured by some sort of demon hunters. They catch him, and he goes, I have one request. If you're going to torture me, please do it slowly. Which is a great Pinhead line. Because Pinhead's a funny character. In the films, he's kind of quite different from the books. In the books, he's more like he's almost like an archangel of hell. That's his kind of role. Yeah. Whereas in the films, he's... Say again?
I thought they weren't angels or demons.
Indeed, in the first story, they're not. They're just like extreme, they're like almost like supernatural S&M crowd. That's what they are. But in Barker's mythology, which is more in the books and the comics, they become quite important aspects of significant figures in hell. In fact, I believe in Barker's realm, Pinhead is basically crawling up the power structure of hell, becoming more and more important. And in his version of hell, something called Leviathan's a major character, and that's true in the film Hellraiser 2. But it turns out that Lucifer disappeared from hell shortly after the fall, so Lucifer's never been there, and if you like, it's the admin of hell has been keeping hell going. It's weird, isn't it? Anyway, but Hellraiser 3 is proper goofy. There's some really good shots and scenes in it, but when it's not around Pinhead or the post, he's in the post of pain or whatever it is, or the lamentation cube or any of that stuff, when it's just the actors doing stuff, they're rubbish. They are proper rubbish. But yeah, I appreciated some of the good ideas in it, and it kind of it was a direct sequel to some of the aspects of 2. Fed into this story quite nicely, but not in a like obvious way, but in terms of the character of Pinhead. So I actually quite like 3, though I think one is by far the best, and 2 is pretty damn good too. 3's kind of quite a drop off, but still enough to I enjoyed it. I'm glad I saw it, and I'd watch it again sometime. And my other one, I'm going to mention very briefly a TV movie called Home for the Holidays, which is almost like a prototype slasher. It's made in the early 70s. It's like a thriller. It's almost felt like an extended episode of the Night Gallery, in that these 4 women turn up. They're all sisters at their dad's home. He's old, and it turns out he married a woman that is suspected of poisoning her first husband. Right, and he basically gets them alone and he says, "She's trying to poison me. You've got to save me." And then people start dying. So it's a bit old Dark House, bit murder mystery, that kind of thing. But it was a TV film, but it was good fun. I really enjoyed it, and I have to mention I came across it because I was reading some posts, but I sometimes do Kingology podcasts with a guy called Anthony Rotolo, who writes up in a Facebook group called Horror Etc. about various TV, he calls it TV terror, but basically horror in TV. He writes a lot. And films I've never even heard of, and I think I know a lot about films. And this was one I never heard of, but I sort of fancied. I watched it. It was on YouTube, but it was really, really fun. It was and the thing about TV movies is they tend to be like an hour and 10 minutes. They're very short and punchy,
Yeah.
And this was, as I say, Home for the Holidays, so it's kind of Christmassy. Even though it was Christmas, it was taking place in a thunderstorm. Yeah,
we live in the UK. That's standard.
Yeah, but this is in America.
True.
And it did feel like a long episode in the Night Gallery. That's how it felt. It was fun though. I enjoyed it. Anyway, I've still got a few more, but back to you.
Okay. You can ring your little.
I was just
thing.
what I was going to say. I bet a dragon's coming.
It's a game called Dragon Commander.
Is it now?
Yeah, it's called Divinity Dragon Commander.
Mm-hmm.
And you play as I think, if I remember the storyline properly, you're supposed to be playing as the bastard son of an emperor who's been killed by other children, by his legitimate children, and you're basically fighting to take control of the empire.
Yeah.
Okay. It's got this sort of it plays kind of like a combination of Civilization and Age of Empires.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Hold on. What was that called? I've got to write this down.
Dragon Commander.
What's it on?
PC.
Oh, I don't do PC.
No, it plays pretty well.
Yeah, but I just don't use a PC anymore. It's all Macs. Unless it's on
Apple.
it
might be on Mac.
Where'd you get it from? Is it Steam? I'll have a look. What's it called?
Divinity Dragon Commander.
Divinity Dragon Commander. Okay, I'll have a look for that. Right, yeah. Carry on talking while I'm having a look.
Okay, so it plays, as I said, it's like a combination of Civ and Age of Empires in that you play like turn-based for the most part, but when your units get into fights, it like zooms in and you play Age of Empires style. You have to build units, set up resources and such. But whenever you're outside of the combat, you have politics to run. So you have to appease the different factions that work for you, and these are represented by races. So you got the undead, elves, dwarves, lizard people, and imps.
Right.
This is funny.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Did you get it in a sale or something?
Yeah, I got it for like £5 in the Steam sale.
Blimey, it's 30 now.
That's finished about 20 minutes ago.
I'm going to add it to my wish list and have a look.
You're going to hate this. Dead Rising 3 was in the sale.
Yeah, but I haven't got an Xbox One.
On Steam.
Hold on. Dead Rising 3's on PCs?
Yes.
But I thought it was an Xbox One exclusive.
No.
That's really annoying.
It's now £40. I don't know what it was before.
Well, anyway, I don't do PC stuff anyway.
Yeah, anyway. as the story progresses, you like need to become more involved in the politicking. So you have to get married to one of the faction's princesses.
Right.
That includes the undead. Somehow.
Wow, weird. It's only on Windows, by the way. Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever then. But the undead's princess is like this gothy girl called Ophelia. All of the undead are named after Shakespeare characters, so their like ambassador is Yorick. The bride's Ophelia. But the minute I married her, she turned around and told me she had like leukemia or something.
Oh wow! I like the look of this. It looks like across, like I say, civilization, but you also got a flying dragon attacking the city.
If you don't think your troops are doing well enough, you can turn into a dragon and start helping them.
Ooh, so you've got a risk of completely dying.
No, you could. If you run out of health, you just like go back to doing it Age of Empires style, with you just sort of managing everything.
Okay.
You can go in and out of dragon form.
Yeah. Okay, it looks fun. It does look fun.
Yeah, the game sort of revels in the sort of stupid, overblown nature of everything. Right. So you have like stupid. The imps in particular are very funny because they've got really goofy names. So like you meet a guy called the imp's representative is called like Tribulo Short Fuse, and his father's name is Tribulus Even Shorter Fuse.
Nice
stuff like that.
Nice. That sounds fun. It looks fun as well from the video. It looks
it's really fun to play.
Quite enjoy it. Okay.
I got it this morning and I've played 4 hours of it.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
Well, £5 it's a bargain, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Were you aware of it before you saw it on sale?
Yeah, I'd seen it. The one of the podcasts I listened to called the Co-Optional Podcast, they talked about it once.
Right.
And they really liked it. They were talking about all stupid stuff that I do because, like, apparently, if you marry the elf faction's representative, like the princess from the elf faction, she's apparently asked for an open marriage.
Yeah,
and that makes all of your troops' morales go up.
Wow, I'll bet.
Stupid stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's full of like goofy stuff.
Okay. Right, shall I finish off? Have you got any more after this? Or
I've got one more.
Okay, well, I'll do a couple more, then you do, and then I'll do another I've got 4 more. Right, I watched a film called The Cottage. A podcast I sometimes go on, the United Nations of Horror, covered it recently, and I thought it sounded pretty fun. It's a British film with Andy Serkis and Reece Shearsmith, who I mentioned, from Doctor Who earlier, as a pair of brothers who kidnap this gangster's daughter in an attempt to blackmail the gangster because they need money.
This can only go well.
Yeah, you guess, that's a bad idea all around. But Andy Serkis is really good in this. You know what? I mean, this is like a horror comedy. It turns into a horror film in the second half, by the way. This is a horror comedy, and he's really good in it. You know what? I think if he was in a really good dramatic gangster kind of role, he'd do something Oscar worthy. I really do believe that. He's so good in this. I was sitting there thinking, and usually I'm not a fan of remakes, but I was sitting there thinking, you know what? If they remade Get Carter properly with him in the lead, I'd go see it because I think he'd be really good in that kind of role. He's got a sort of soft gentleness about him, but he's got a kind of scariness about him too sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the best thing about the film was the banter between him and his brother in the film. It was kind of fun. His brother was a weedy sort of henpecked balding guy who he sort of bossed around. But the thing is, one of the funny things about it is that Andy Serkis can sound quite threatening, can't he? But because the gangster knew him, he knew the gangster would recognise his voice, so he had to get his brother to say all his lines, and he sounded a bit poncy, so he had to do all this like threatening stuff. He was going, look, if you scream, I'm going to break your fingers. It was like, it was like he just did it.
Yeah.
And he was trying to show him how to talk like that, and it just was not working. It was funny. It was funny.
Andy Serkis is he can be really scary when he wants to be.
He can be.
I saw him in Wild Bill, and Well, Bill isn't a character you trifle with, but Andy Serkis I can't remember his name, but he basically comes up and sticks a knife in his mouth, and he's like, "You come back here again, I'll kill you."
Yeah,
and walks out, and that's the end of his scene.
All right, I want to see Wild Bill. You've made me want to see it even more now. I've not watched it yet, but I've heard that's really good. Actually, Wild Bill.
Yeah.
Okay, so The Cottage, it was fun. It was fun. It was sort of, a goofy comedy horror kind of thing with some proper scary stuff, but also the silly interactions. Basically, the other interesting thing about it was their hostage was not like a screaming, horror girl. She was like, she was calling them everything under the sun, the language, and like at one point she starts headbutting one of them, and she keeps headbutt because he's like down and like kind of like semi-conscious. She keeps headbutting him, and it's like really grim. It's funny. Yeah. And okay, the other thing I wanted to talk about is I watched the whole of a BBC Three series, which was showcasing horror shorts, called The Fear. It was kind of a fun series. There were some good horror films, some that I thought were way better than others that didn't do that well in terms of the public reaction. The public tended to like the jump scary kind of stuff. Left it in sort of a memory. Anything a bit odd kind of didn't do that well, but some of the best stuff was the odd stuff, which was kind of a shame. But having said that, I thought they were all worth watching. It was interesting to see some different approaches to sort of horror. And there was one which was proper Evil Dead, which was a lot of Evil Dead 2, I should say. Stroke Gremlins. There was these like little demons attacking this guy in a house, and it turned out he was a burglar, and he was burgling the woman that babysits Satan's little demons, basically.
Yeah.
It was that was a fun one. That didn't do it well at all, but it was a fun one to watch. So that was kind of cool. It's still on iPlayer if you want to try and catch it.
Yeah.
And they're only half-hour a show, and you get like 4 in a show, so it's not bad. Do you know what I mean? I must have seen 20 odd shorts over the 6-week run. Okay, I've got a few more, but were you going to do one more?
Yeah, I've got one more.
Go on in.
And that is StarCraft 2, the first expansion for StarCraft 2, Heart of the Swarm, which I decided to get because, again, it was on sale, and the new expansion has just been released, and that looks all sorts of cool, so I needed to get it.
Do you remind me, StarCraft, is that like Command and Conquer or Warcraft?
That's, do you mean World of Warcraft or...
No.
World of Warcraft.
I mean Warhammer. Sorry, I meant Warhammer.
No, StarCraft is... People think it might have been like originally intended to be a Warhammer 40,000 thing, but
it feels
no
like
one's
that,
quite sure.
If I remember it.
But yeah, it's very sort of
Command and Conquer.
Yeah, it's very. It's pretty much entirely competitive, so it's one of the biggest esports games, I think. Though League of Legends might top.
See, I like games like that. Is it online? Is it single player or is it online only?
There is a campaign which has a pretty good story,
right?
But the majority of the game is you're playing online against crazy good Koreans and sort of thing.
Yeah,
that's the main problem. Is it's got a huge barrier for entry
because everyone just beats the crap out of you as soon as you try and.
They know how to play. They know what to do. They know like the ins and outs of every single unit, and they'll just like destroy you.
Yeah, that doesn't sound
That's the main
fun.
problem. But as I said, the campaign is really fun. So the first one was all about the struggle of this guy, Jim Raynor, trying to purify his lady love who'd been tainted by this evil, think aliens, but like instead of having chest bursters, they just like infect you with some sort of disease that turns you into a monster. Yeah. And somehow she'd like, as one of these monsters, she'd basically beat her way to the top of the food chain.
Right.
So she ran everything.
Right.
In the original campaign, it was all about getting rid of this infection from her. And at the end, shock horror, you do that. That's not a spoiler. The game's been out, I think,
10 years. Must be
8 years at this point.
Yeah. Okay, it was fun, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I have played it, I think.
I think I showed you a bit of it like long ago.
Yeah, I think I've even got it somewhere, but I don't. Like I said, I don't really
have
play
the
on
original.
PC. Oh, do I? Yes, you're right. I have the first one, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Cool. All right, my last two are TV shows. Walking Dead just finished its mid-season finale. Yeah, good. Season 6 this is. First 4 episodes were fantastic, really good. Then it kind of fell off a cliff, which it often kind of does after the few episodes, but not too far. It was just a bit, this isn't going anywhere. And I had one of these, Walking Dead sometimes famously try and string out, like you see something happen and you think you don't know how it's going to resolve, and then they don't tell you the next episode, and then the next episode they don't tell you, and they're famous for stringing out things a bit too long and just annoying the fans. Do you know what I mean? And I did one of that, but actually it was quite a good resolution. I didn't leave it too long this time. So I'd say 4 really great episodes, 2 not great, and then the final 2 were decent. So it's left massive cliffhangers. It hasn't like tried to resolve it in a finale that sort of goes, wow, so and so's died or something like that. Everything's in the air. Everything's in the air. So it's kind of cool, and in the very last scene, you get a mention of a new character, a character that's not been in the TV show before, but is kind of infamous in the comic book series. So that's kind of whetted the fans' the sort of fans' appetite. So that's kind of cool. Very good though. I enjoy it. I like The Walking Dead. It gets a lot of crap on the internet, but I always like it actually. And the other TV show I want to mention is I've started watching Supergirl, which is fun in a Flash kind of way. It's a tiny bit more adult than Flash. Maybe, not much. It's a little more violent. Yeah. Though having said that, the few of the Flashes recently I've watched have been quite violent. So I'd put it on a par with Flash. And the girl playing Supergirl, it works. You know what I mean? You can see why she's not recognised when she's in a day job wearing glasses and stuff like that. Yeah. And they've set up a different dynamic from Superman in that she's there to help people and she's still learning her powers a bit. But the CG is really good. I mean, the flying stuff looks really good. The fact that
What's the premise for Superman not being there?
He looks after Metropolis. She looks after something called I think it's Central City. Or is that flag? I get confused.
Central City is, I think. There's like a load of them that I always get mixed up.
Yeah, she's in a different city.
There's Star City and Central City.
Yeah. Well, she's in a different city, and she works for a different media organisation.
Okay.
But I got confused. I didn't even realise this character was Jimmy Olsen, but Jimmy Olsen's there. See, I didn't hear him called Jimmy Olsen for the first few. I just heard him called Jimmy, I think, and he's black, and that I didn't expect him to be Jimmy Olsen, and she's got a crush on him. And, there's that kind of vibe. And almost everyone seems to know who she is. It's bizarre. Loads of people know she's Supergirl already.
That seems disadvantageous.
Yeah, well, it also helps her. At least she can talk about things to other people. So you can kind of see why they did it. But it turns out her stepsister is in this secret organisation that monitors aliens. Yeah. But she ends up working for them.
Is this going to be Cadmus again?
I don't know what that means.
Cadmus is like an anti-Justice League organisation. They want to put all superheroes on a
Not
registry.
quite that. Yeah.
Think Lex Luthor, but working for the government.
Well, it's a bit like that. It's more like they want to try and keep an eye on the risks. Rather than register
Cadmus.
Everyone. Okay.
That's Cadmus.
All right, okay.
That's definitely Cadmus.
But I just watched episode 3 or maybe 4, can't remember now. But she was basically fighting Iron Man. That was essentially it.
Oh, that'd be Metallo.
He had he was called Reactron.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. They even say that. They say that in the TV show. Who gave him that name? But she's still learning her powers. She's got heat vision, and the CG looks really good on that. But she hasn't quite learned the ice breath. Do you know what I mean? And already
the ice breath would be a bit easier to do than the heat vision.
Yeah, but it is definitely the same universe as Nolan's one. I'm sure it is. Because when you do see Superman, you never see Superman head on. You never see his face. But when you see him, his suit is definitely the Man of Steel suit.
The like darker one.
Yeah, and they refer to him as Man of Steel as well, and stuff like that.
Well, that's not really an indicator.
Yeah, but it appears to be him.
Yeah.
But he's already rescued her twice, or turned up twice. Sort of assist her. But she's getting peeved because she says, "I don't want to be assisted. I've got to learn on my own." But there's been some cool stuff. It's been good. I'm definitely going to continue. What?
I want to do stuff on my own. Don't call yourself Supergirl. Call yourself something different.
No, she's been called Supergirl though by the media. Having said that, she has adapted the S because she said it's. But the reason is it's the family symbol, and she's the cousin. So
I don't want to be associated with this thing. Plasters it all across her chest,
and apparently it means hope or something.
Oh yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's all the stuff I watched. Right, shall we actually get on to Star Wars now?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get on with it.
42 minutes in, we can finally talk about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Get on with it.
Okay, Star Wars: A New Hope. Right. Well, it's kind of obvious why we watched this. We were kind of waiting for the new Star Wars film, which we'll probably review shortly after it comes out. But, to tide us over, we decided to watch this, didn't we? Nice clean print. It has to be said. It was a Blu-ray. Unfortunately, it's, by definition, it's the tinkered with one. Because Disney haven't bought out the original shit on Blu-ray, but hopefully they will sometime soon.
I'm sure they will. I'm pretty certain they could just go to the what is it? There's like a sort of place where they keep
the Library of Congress.
Yeah, that where George.
They said they will. They said they're bringing it out. They have said.
George Lucas got chewed out because he tried to submit the edited version.
Yeah. Well, he claimed that you could never watch the original because it didn't exist anymore. And then someone pointed out, but it's in the Library of Congress. What are you talking about? And he's like, I don't really want to get into that, but I believe artists should be able to change stuff if they want to, but they should deny people to the originals.
Yeah.
That's my feeling on it. Anyway, that's by the by. Enjoy this, did you?
Yeah, it's still really good.
Still holds up. It is as shallow as a puddle on a hot day, but it's fun. It is fun. And luckily, I think particularly Harrison Ford helps with the newer members, the newer members of the acting profession here.
Yeah.
But I do like Carrie Fisher's and Mark Hamill's performances. Though I think Mark Hamill gets better in Empire and Jedi.
Yeah, he has a lot of really weirdly delivered lines in this one.
Yeah, he sounds kind of fresh-faced, doesn't he? Though Alec Guinness is really great. I wish Peter Cushing had been given a little more, actually, because he's always fantastic. But one of the things I've noticed in this rewatch is how functional the lines are. They kind of they're there to do something, and they're not about character development. They're like just to deliver the story.
Yeah.
Even the explanation of the Force is like that's George Lucas saying, "Let's tell him about the Force," not it's organic and. As such,
it's part of the world that you feel it. No, it's just there.
And some of that functionality is kind of a bit laughable, like Luke sort of saying to Han, "You don't believe in the Force, do you?" Like the day after he's learned about the Force himself. It's like, wow. But it's a lot of fun, and there's some great little touches in this. Watching it again, I really think what makes this film really elevates the film is the music.
Yeah.
And I don't just mean the main themes, I mean all the little music.
Yeah.
The music when the Jawas are on and the creepy desert and and also interesting is what some of the techniques George Lucas uses. He does a bit of cinema verite when the Jawas are attacking, for example, but also the swipe cuts and stuff like that. It's all very cool and reminiscent of 40s sort of serials. So it was good fun.
Going back to the music for a second, I like how people respect the music so much, even the Family Guy parodies of it just stand aside when the music gets good. They're just like John Williams, everybody, and it just cuts pants back, and there's like an entire orchestra there.
Yeah,
that's the joke they make, but they just let the music play.
Yeah, why not? Why not? What was I going to say? I mean, the best thing about the prequels, I think, is the music.
Yeah.
So John Williams really does deliver some great music in those prequels. It has to be said.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to this. You can kind of see why it is what it is. It's kind of so much more exciting than anything around in cinema before it. It really is. And the special effects really hold up. And I mean, the tinkering did not have to be done. They were good anyway, frankly. The only thing that looked a little weak to me was the laser blasts. They don't. Yeah. They looked a bit. I mean,
the lightsabers looked a bit weedy in this one.
I really like the white lightsabers. I had an argument with a guy at work today, or the other day. He was saying, "Oh yeah, they've changed it to make it blue, so it matches your father." But when I watched it with you, we watched it together, didn't we? It looked white to me. Did it look blue to you?
I mean, it looked like it was definitely had tinges of blue, but you could be mistaken. It would easily be mistaken for white.
Yeah. Okay. So that was a bit odd. But all the little touches are good. You know, the world building's fantastic. It really is. And I'm kind of glad that Disney have wrested it off Lucas, because this could be, you know, a TV show, like I've done with Rebels. You know, it could be all these films.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they'll
such
alternate.
a vast universe,
and I'm hoping that they're gonna like properly have main Star Wars films, but then side Star Wars films. I want to see a film about, I don't know, what about a film of Obi-Wan between episode 3 and 4? How about that? That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Well, he had a throwdown with Darth Maul.
Did he?
Yeah, he had a Darth Maul.
Darth Maul came back?
Yeah. He apparently survived being cut in half somehow.
Oh, okay.
And he came back
robot
with
legs.
Robot legs, yeah.
Okay. Well,
he's actually in Clone Wars.
And I'd actually like to see Ewan McGregor do that.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool. For example, or I'd like to see a Boba Fett story.
Well, I think we're going to get a Boba Fett story.
Well, I hope so. And I also hope that Disney are brave enough to let it be an 18 or even or maybe a 15, but certainly not a PG, something a bit stronger than a PG-13.
Yeah.
But they probably won't.
Yeah. I mean, with Boba Fett, even the multimedia stuff for kids never really shied away from the gruesomeness. I remember there being like a comic where he's hunting a guy down. He's straight up like, he comes across a load of rebel soldiers injured.
Yeah.
And he starts like stomping on a guy's stump to get information.
Oh yes, yeah. I want to see some of that. And I'd like it directed by Neil Marshall. You know, the guy that made Dog Soldiers and Centurion, or possibly the guy that made Dredd. That'd be kind of cool too.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Or the guy that made The Raid. One of those proper action directors.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Though, anyway, let's get back to Star Wars itself. It is shallow, and I've got a feeling that if someone had never seen this and hadn't heard the hype and saw it today, it would not register much with them, apart from the music.
Yeah, it'd just be like another sci-fi film.
Yeah, I think
there's such like a huge. I can't think of the word, but there's so many sci-fi films and such out nowadays.
I think Star Wars we'd still be talking about Star Wars if it was just the one film. However, I really think Empire in particular really cemented the legacy because it's such a richer film.
Yeah,
you know, it's a proper film, isn't it? You know, there's character development.
Yeah,
sort of richness.
I think it's great because I think it's one of the weirdly the few examples where the middle film is like the absolute best.
Yeah. There's not many series where that's true. Maybe The Evil Dead is another one, but mostly it's either the first or the third that tends to be the best in the trilogies. But you're right, and the second one is usually just stepping down. But Empire was just fantastic.
Yeah, I like that. It's kind of got. I mean, let's be honest here. The Force Awakens isn't going to be people aren't. There's going to be a lot of complaints about it, no matter how good it is. It's not going to be as well received as the originals. So we've got the middle.
Well, I think I do think it'll be better received because we're all used to the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? People would just be relieved if it ain't as shit as that.
Yeah, but it's going to be constantly compared to Empire and
yeah, I guess.
But it's not going to stand up as well, I don't think.
Yeah.
It's going to be good, I think, but not as good as.
Well, until we see it, we don't.
Yeah, I know I can't really make that call, but I think it'll be pretty good that the middle sort of series of films, the middle trilogy, and that is going to be the best, and the middle one of those is going to be the best. I just thought that was going to be funny.
I mean, a lot of people. It's J.J. Abrams, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people say, yeah, his stuff's all right, but it's kind of a bit silly and lightweight, and yeah, it often is. But
that's
then
Star Wars.
That's Star Wars, but he has done stuff that isn't just that. If you've seen Serenity, that has got some of the best film storytelling in film. You know, compressed storytelling in film I've ever seen. The first 10 minutes of that tell so much story in an entertaining and great way. That's amazing. And also it's kind of dark, and it's lots of emotional stuff happens in that, for example. Whereas if you go to the Avengers, that doesn't really have that kind of stuff. You know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did he do the Avengers? I'm trying to remember now.
He didn't do Serenity.
Yeah, Serenity. Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Who am I thinking of? I'm sorry. I'm mixing them up. I'm thinking of. Oh man, I am mixing them up badly.
You're thinking of Joss Whedon.
I am thinking.
He wrote Armageddon. He directed Mission Impossible 3.
I'm thinking of Joss Whedon. That's terrible. I've just completely blown my own arguments there. I'm just trying to think. There are other. He did Lost, which fell off a cliff, didn't it? Apparently.
Did the Star Trek 2009?
Yeah. Did he do Alias? Was that one of his?
Yeah, that was him.
Now that had a lot of emotional depth to it as well.
Lost. He was a guest
I
writer on
really
The Last
like
Airbender.
Alias, actually. Yeah.
Fringe. He did a lot of the sort of well-received.
Yeah, so maybe it won't. Star Trek was the first film was really good, but it was kind of shallow again.
I like the second film.
You like the con? There is a third one coming out, you know.
Yeah, Star Trek Beyond. I wonder what.
Yeah, there's even talk of Star Trek 4.
Yeah, that could be kind of cool.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, we have to kind of see. I mean, it's got a lot. The fact is, you've got Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill back, and
that I'm glad
while
about.
we've had these trailers, I've kind of avoided the trailers, but my understanding of them is they look great, but they don't really tell you what's going to happen. You can't really work out what the story is from the trailers.
Yeah.
Whereas when you've watched the trailers for the Avengers, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I know exactly what beats this. But I think it's really cool because no one has any idea except what we've been kind of drip-fed from people.
Yeah,
that's not,
but again,
not
I've avoided
trailers.
that. I've avoided that myself. I don't want to know.
Yeah, but the thing is, all we know is there's an evil faction, and its leader is a guy named Snoke. That's what this new Sith character, Kylo Ren, is working for.
Yeah,
and that's it. That's about it.
I don't know. It could be anything can happen. I noticed that Luke doesn't appear in it much in the to be interactive with anyone else so he could be anything. He could be a recluse. He could be that bloke with the red lightsaber wearing a mask. I just don't know.
It's not going to be him.
No. But I'm just saying we don't know really what's going to happen yet, do we?
Yeah.
All you can guess is there'll be a Sith involved and there'll be Jedis involved.
Yeah, there's always a Jedi. There's always a Sith.
Yeah, and there's often a pair of Sith on there as well.
Yeah, well, it's always two. So.
Yeah, indeed.
But yes, we've kind of drifted off of.
We have drifted off. Well, the thing is, so much has been said about the fourth one. There's not that much to say. It is quite shallow. I still enjoy it a lot. I really appreciate Alec Guinness and the music. Say again?
A Flash Gordon film.
What was?
Like that. It was good. Star Wars. It was going to be like a Flash Gordon film.
Well, No, George Lucas was trying to get the rights for Flash Gordon. When he couldn't secure them, he wrote his own thing, which was The Adventures of Starkiller. But that became Luke Skywalker kind of thing.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the music in this and Alec Guinness. It's weird. Whenever I see it, I don't get this vibe in any other bits of Star Wars, but I always feel like when I see the Darth Vader for the first time, is it the first time?
Yeah.
Or early on, his helmet looks way too big.
It can kind of.
It almost feels like Spaceballs. That's how. Do you know what I mean?
No,
it's not that big,
bad.
No, it isn't that big.
I
but
mean,
it's
supposed to be based on
too
Samurai helmet, which is supposed to be huge, but
but it just looks bizarrely big to me. Anyway, I mean, it was fun to see this film again. It is a very shallow film. How does it rate to you in terms of the first three? Where do you put it?
I'd put it like second out of the original trilogy.
And I'm guessing Empire first?
Yeah, Empire, and then afterwards it's Jedi.
Yeah, I'd put them in about the same order too. I really think Empire's amazing.
It is close between Jedi and Hope, but...
The one thing I will say about 7 is I believe the story is written by Irving Kershner, who wrote Empire.
I think it's Kasdan.
Lawrence Kasdan? I thought he was just the producer.
Abrams wrote... It says here on Wikipedia, Abrams co-wrote the film with Lawrence Kasdan.
Oh, did Kasdan co-write Empire?
Yeah, who co-wrote the original films Empire. He co-wrote Empire and Jedi.
Right. Well, that is a good premise. That's a good pedigree. So that's promising, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I noticed that on IMDb, Star Wars 8 is programmed for 2017, so they're going to have it pretty much in May as well.
Well, why did you ask if it was Kershner? Kershner's dead.
Is he?
Yeah, he died.
Sorry, I was thinking Lawrence Kasdan.
Oh my God, he died on my birthday, 2010.
Well, how about that? Yeah. So. It's fun. I'm just looking at the credits for episode 8. Only 3 actors are credited. Oh no, there's more. Sorry. Hold on. No, there's not many. No, there's only 3 cast members declared for 8. Do you want to know who they are?
Oh, could it be Han, Luke, and Leia?
No. It's Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, and then 2 that, as far as I know, aren't in 7. How about that? One's called Oscar Isaac, playing a character.
He's in 7.
Oh, is he? And Benicio del Toro.
I think he is in 7.
Okay, but what I'm saying is Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher aren't in that list. Read of that what you will. Who knows? But Mark Hamill definitely is. So maybe this will be like the film will end with Mark Hamill sort of.
Maybe they're
being right at the end, but
the story. But
maybe 8 will be all about Luke Skywalker, which would be cool.
Yeah,
that might.
Maybe they're just not in the story.
Boy, we're really not sticking to the Star Wars.
Yeah. We're really.
Let's go back to that. Okay, let's just wind up. What would you give this out of 10?
I'd give this a 9.
Yeah, I'll give it a 9 too. It doesn't hit the peaks of Empire, but it's a damn great film. Not quite the very first of the summer blockbusters, because that goes to Jaws, but it's probably
that was a good year.
One of the most culturally influential films of all time. Let's put it that way. And a great fun movie. One to see on the big screen if you can. Mind you, the TV we watched on is pretty big and it looked really nice. I will be getting the originals if ever they come out on Blu-ray. That's for sure. I don't mind. Having said that, I'm not too precious about the changes. I'm not that bothered about Greedo shooting first, to be honest. Though it is more.
Yeah, I understand why he did it.
Yeah,
I can understand why he did a lot of things.
It just looks goofy though when you watch it. Just because he looks like he's firing diagonally across a room.
Yeah, there's also the weird head movement, but
yeah. Okay, all right. Let's wind it out there. Next time, I think we're doing 3 more episodes of The Flash.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what we'd be doing after that. But we're starting to get intrude into Star Wars territory there. At some point, Star Wars is coming on this podcast. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Star Wars 7, I mean. All right, then. So bye from me.
Bye.